Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good this Thursday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone is doing good. Like always, guys, if you are enjoying the streams, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you haven't done already, check out my Telegram channel. Link in the description to that. I share my updates, trades, watches for the week, videos I create. So if you do want to stay in the loop, make sure you go join the Telegram, link in the description. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets at the top of the chat there. So feel free to check them out if you are looking for a broker. But yeah, guys, welcome back to the stream. Hope everyone's doing good. HD, what is up? Hope you're doing well. Frenesis, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Morning, Euro Pound. I'm looking at longs. Okay. What was your take? I mean, shorts, not long. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Euro Pound, I'm quite bearish on as well. But personally, I'm not a big fan of the price action with Euro Pound. So I'm not too focused on the pair. But on my weekly analysis, I shared my point of view that price could potentially come back into this 0.86 area for some sells because we do have some good confluence there. But overall, I'm kind of just looking at Euro Pound as a consolidation. So personally, for me, I'm staying away from the pair. But if you are looking for some opportunities, there was a nice sell yesterday coming into this particular area here. Had some nice confluence coming back into that same resistance there. So was favoring a push to the downside, but didn't quite see it. Well, we did see a move to the downside, but not a big move, which still could happen. But if you're looking at getting involved Euro Pound, this is probably the best place to do it at the moment. We're still getting this bearish structure of lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Possibly could see something like that happen again. But like I said, it's just a very choppy market moving sideways. I want to see a bit more momentum, a bit more of a healthy trend being displayed in the charts. And right now, I'm not really seeing that. I know on the higher time frame daily chart, there is a bit of a bearish trend here, but we're kind of bottoming out a little bit. And also respecting the lows here on the left as well. We're failing to break through. So I'm not a big fan of Euro Pound, but if you are looking at some shorts, then looking up here is a safe place to put your stop loss. And if you can catch the move, that could be a very nice risk reward as well. So if you are looking at shorts, 0.86 probably would be the place to do it. But yeah, not a big fan of the pair for me personally. Hamza, what is up? Morning, welcome to the stream. Euro USD has really toyed with me this week. I've got my sell limit at 1.077, but so far hasn't yet been triggered, just missing it by a few pips. Stop loss 1.8. Okay, we'll take a look. When did you put the sell limit in, Hamza? Did you put it at the start of the week or? Yeah, how long ago did you put the sell limit in? But we will take a look at Euro USD. Gracious Pips, what is up from Amazonia Wicked? Hope you're doing well. Morgan Doug, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. The Bird FX, what is up? Looking to long pound AUD on a good level. What do you think? Yeah, pound AUD is still at an interesting place. Price action is still a little bit sideways, but we are holding that area. So I'm still keen to see what we can do on pound AUD. We'll touch on that pair. Let me just take a look at Euro USD. So yeah, Euro USD, this one is a little bit choppy these days, and again, rightly so. We have come into, well, more or less, we've just about tapped into a very big level of support here on the left, which is why I've been looking for a bigger retracement for Euro USD. I'm still very bearish on the pair. I actually do think eventually Euro USD will actually go and break through the lows there. So I do think there's a lot of downside to be had for Euro still. But again, from my perspective as a swing trader, I'm not really trying to short around these prices because there's not enough wiggle room for me. I want price to go higher. Therefore, I can short back down to the same level, maybe take partials or take my profit. But this is just a little bit too shallow of a retracement for me. Not that price can not just drop to the downside. It can definitely do that. But it's just not at price, which I'm interested in at the moment. So for me, for myself, I definitely am looking at bigger pullbacks for Euro USD. Whether it will happen or not is yet to be known. I'm looking at a retest of this structure up here around the 1.08500 mark. If I could see something like this happen, that would be fantastic. But we'll see if it happens or not. You said you had your sell limit at 1.07731. Let me mark that in the chart. 07731. It's more or less at this low here. So yeah, very sensible place for entries, for looking to short. Obviously, price was briefly holding on to that as support, broke through for a lot of momentum. That is a nice place to look to short, and of course, you're looking to follow that trend. So yeah, that is a not bad place to short. Like I said, I like price to go a little bit higher than that, but we'll see. But yeah, price is consolidating. So yeah, it has been a little bit messy for Euro USD this week. Have seen some nice downside a couple times, but nothing really sustained. The market just finds that higher low and be moving sideways. So yeah, Euro USD price action a little bit all over the place. DXY a little bit as well, kind of sideways. I'm still bullish on the DXY, still bearish in Euro, but as long as we continue the consolidation, it's yet to be seen which way we'll move for the rest of the week. But yeah, I am bearish in Euro, so the sell limit is in a very nice place. I'm also looking a little bit higher. We'll see if price can get there, but yeah, Euro right now has been very choppy in this kind of area, so I probably would avoid getting Euro in this price action now. But yeah, I'm still expecting a drop on Euro USD. First, we might see some upside though. Your take profit 1.6510. I mean 0.6510, I suppose. 0.6510. Okay, so you're coming down to around these lows here. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. The trade makes sense. You just need to see if price can come back to your area first. And again, that's all part of trading. You're waiting for price to come to you rather than you try to come to price, as in trying to just look for a trade wherever price is. You want to find your areas of value, your areas of interest, where you got a good probability that price will react in your favor. Of course, not all the time, but at least the probability is in your favor. And if you've established that level, all you need to do is complete the waiting game, which is wait for price to come to you. And sometimes price just doesn't. Price sometimes just falls or rises from where it is. Sometimes it breaks past your areas and everything in between. So yeah, it's all about patience and waiting for price to come to you. And when it does, no hesitation, you're there to take the trade when need be. But yeah, we'll see how Euro goes, because so far it's been a very sideways week for Euro and dollar pairs in general, to be fair. Where was I? Okay, pound AUD, we'll take a look at that one next. Okay, so yeah, start of the week. So yeah, you've been waiting patiently there. Already on Thursday, coming towards the end of the week, and price still hasn't tagged it. And the thing is that it might not tag it this week as well. We could just continue in this little range that price is trading right now for the rest of the week potentially, or we could even drop to the downside as well from here. So yeah, there's a possibility price just won't get to your area. If that's the case, would you hold your limit over the weekend and wait to see if price will get to your area maybe early next week, or would you just take the limit off going into late Friday? Washed Up HD. Dang, Amazonia. Yeah, I mean, it was the first time hearing Amazonia as well when they mentioned it. But yeah, it's a new country. It's a new country. Not not every major country recognizes it as a country yet, I don't think. Scalpy TFX, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Morning. Bunny, what is up? Can you take a look at Euro Swiss? Of course, we'll take a look, no problem. Some sales around 0.959. Okay. MAT 2645, pound CAD from an inverse and head and shoulder in 50-minute pullback to our level for shorts. Okay, we'll go take a look at pound CAD. Bunny, bro, can you? Yep, I will take a look at Euroseat Chef. I'll first go through pound Aussie, and then I'll take a look at Euroseat Chef and pound CAD. So yeah, pound Aussie, last time I looked at this one, it was still resting on that strong area of confluence, strong level. I want to see a nice reaction at this area now, because I've been looking for that double bottom, and price has basically come into it for that double bottom. So so in terms of what I was looking for, excuse me, in terms of what I was looking for pound AUD, we're pretty much getting it. All I need to do is see that strong shift in momentum, basically a strong bullish engulfing candle. I'll probably look for the hourly, but I probably might just wait for the 4H, which would be the safer option. because hourly bullish engulfing doesn't really have too much say in such a large such a large structure. A bullish engulfing candle doesn't really have much say, but 4H, that will show, okay, we're really starting to shift momentum. Maybe the stop loss will be a little bit bigger, but the probability of the trade playing out would be higher. So it's kind of, it balances itself out. But yeah, pound AUD definitely holding a nice area of confluence. Again, if we do zoom out and look at the higher time frame structure, we can see the market has been in a very comfortable uptrend for quite a while now. So we're still expecting that to continue until it doesn't. And right now we're coming in to retest the price swing high. We've got some good trendline confluence there as well, probably coming into the 50% of the fib as well from the swing low to the swing high. Let's change that to white so you can all see. So yeah, we're coming to the 50% of that as well. So we've got really good confluence in this particular area here for pound Aussie, but we just need to wait for an entry signal, basically. The cherry on top, which we haven't got yet. The market has come back for that second test. Did see a nice bullish reaction there, wicks to the downside, wicks to the upside. So we're getting some indecision. The market's kind of resting on that level, but we need to see evidence that, okay, the buyers have really stepped in. And that's when we can look to take our trades. But at the moment, I'm not seeing that. The market's more sideways than anything, and not really seeing much bullish momentum. So I will keep an eye out for that, because it definitely is on the watch list. And possibility could be seeing a big swing to the upside, possibly back to the swing high on the left here. But I'll probably look at that as a major target as well. So there's a lot of upside potential for pound AUD if we do see the swing I'm looking for. But the entry is the most important thing. Okay, so I'll take a look at Euro CHF, and we'll take a look at pound CAD as well. Gracious pips, you are very smart, Miko. Hey, appreciate it. I wouldn't say I'm that smart, no. But I appreciate it. HD, I'm from searching it up. It's in Cameroon. Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure, to be fair. I think isn't it across a part of Nigeria as well? But yeah, I can't say for certain. HD, anyways, how is your EuroCAD trade going? I didn't take it since I was preparing to go to school. Okay. Yeah, I didn't share it EuroCAD on time because I was actually out at the time and I didn't take my work phone with me. But yeah, I'll touch on EuroCAD in a second. I am short EuroCAD. It was one of the pairs that I was focused on yesterday. I was looking at EuroCAD shorts, CAD yen longs, and gold shorts. Those are my top three pairs yesterday. But gold shorts didn't really happen. We'll touch on gold and touch on CAD yen. But EuroCAD did form quite nicely. So we'll go into that. First, let me take a look at Euro Swiss. Yeah, let me first take a look at Euro Swiss and pound CAD. So Euro CHF, okay, so yeah, this one, very, very sideways price action, definitely not a fan of it. From a higher time frame perspective, I think there's a lot of downside. There's a lot of downside potential. I do think eventually we're probably going to come and take out this wick. So there's a comfortable bearish trend in the higher time frames. It's the weekly, daily chart, you know, ever so slowly moving to the downside. So I do think we're probably going to rest back at the lows here. But do I want to short it now? No, I don't want to short it now, because at the moment we're kind of just getting sideways price action. Market's respecting that support pretty well, and now we're kind of getting some resistance within the range as well, back at 0.99599. So I can understand looking to short, because of course the market's rejected once, twice, potentially a third time, could see a swing back to the downside. It does make sense, 100%. It's just not really my type of style. How I look to trade, I'm looking for trends, I'm looking for direction, momentum. This is basically doing the exact opposite. The market's stagnant, moving sideways, equal highs, equal lows. These are the conditions I like to stay away from, but it doesn't mean you can't profit in them. It's just that my type of trading style, I look to avoid these markets and look at these conditions and look for trending conditions. But if you are looking for some opportunities, then naturally, if you are going to trade a range, you want to be looking to sell high, buy low. And yeah, stop losses above here is probably where you want to be placing your stop loss, not anywhere within this area here. So shorts up here do make sense. Move to the downside. Market looks like it's starting to reject that area. Might have a little bit more upside first before we do sell off. But yeah, if we can reject that resistance level, then you could be seeing a nice swing back to the downside into the lows here around 0.95270. So it's definitely not a bad trade idea. But like I said, I want a bit more of a trend. If the price can start breaking to the downside like this, give us a nice pullbacks, this will be something I would be interested in personally, because at that point we've actually broken some structure. We're starting to get some lower highs in as well, some lower lows as well. So now I've got a bit of a trend to work with, and of course we're in favor of the higher time frames as well. So this would be a very, very nice opportunity, but of course we're a long way away from that happening. But yeah, naturally it's not a bad place to short. But yeah, for me, I'll be waiting for a bit more of a trending condition. Pound CAD, we'll take a look. I'll go from a Euro CAD trade shortly after. FX Summon, what is up? Good afternoon from Bangladesh. Nice. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Goosh. Welcome to the stream. Daza, morning. Hope you're doing good. New subscriber, hey, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you on board. For those not in the UK, the random beeping is a fire alarm running out of battery. Currently in a... Oh, is that my fire alarm? I didn't even notice. Anyway, currently in a 80JPY long, both cable, pound USD and Euro USD consolidating right now. Yes, they are being very, very choppy. I'm still bearish on both of them, but it's not looking too particularly interesting for some entries at the moment. But we'll touch on 80JPY long. I do think the yen pairs are starting to gain steam again to the upside, so maybe could be seeing some big breakouts to the upside shortly. But we'll touch on the yen pairs in a second. Let me go have a look at pound CAD. So yeah, pound CAD still bearish bias. It looks like price is going to try and take out the lows here on the left. It hasn't quite done it yet, but yeah, pound CAD has been falling quite smoothly. We have broken through some major support, and if I actually zoom out and drag it across, you can see it was a big level of resistance on the daily chart, which we did clear underneath. So since we had that breakout, been looking for some sell opportunities. Did get one last week, but I wasn't at the charts at the time, so I did miss that opportunity. But nonetheless, some people did catch it, so congrats to those people. But yeah, we are approaching some support now, so I'm not really in the mood to be looking to sell pound CAD at the moment. Someone said they're waiting for inverse head and shoulder or something. Does pound CAD form a inverse head and shoulder on the 15-minute and pull back to our level for shorts? Okay, let me look at the 15. Possibly. I would say it's a bit of a reach though. I can see what you're talking about with the left shoulder here, the head, and then the right shoulder. I would definitely wait for the neckline to break in this example. Sometimes I do go for the right shoulder and anticipate the right shoulder forming and look for my buys there or sells, depending if it's inverse or not. But in this case, because the trend is so strong to the downside, we're still seeing a lot of bearish momentum in the market as well. So I wouldn't really try and anticipate this happening. If it does happen and we see a move up, then yeah, some buys above that will look good and probably trade it back to our level, which we're looking at, back to up here, and then potentially could see an even bigger sell-off from a swing perspective as well. So the sells up there do look good. Of course, we're a long way away from that. The buys do make sense, of course. We're coming to a strong level of support as well. It does look like the market is starting to consolidate, could break to the upside, but I would strongly suggest waiting for that neckline to break first and then looking to follow that momentum. I mean, you can trade it from here and anticipate the right shoulder. I just think it's quite an aggressive position there. The probability of this trade playing out is not as high as if you would wait for the neckline to break and then look for your retest to go long. So that's kind of my full process with it. But I do like where you're coming from there. But yeah, I'm pretty bearish on pound CAD, so I'm going to ignore the longs for now. If it does end up retracing, fantastic. I'll look for sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, I would wait for that neckline to break first. So yeah, EuroCAD. I entered some shorts on EuroCAD. So far, looking okay. I got into the trade on this bearish candle here, and we're looking for the double top, the retest of this high over there. Had some strong confluence on the hourly and the 4H chart. Excuse me. And price came into a really nice level of confluence, testing the trend line and of course this broken support resistance there. And we had CPI yesterday, so CPI gave us a strong push to the upside, big wick, testing the level, and then we had the momentum shortly after. So that's where I hopped into the trade for the EuroCAD position. But with EuroCAD, I've been focused on this one ever since PoundCAD kind of left without me a little bit. And again, with EuroCAD and PoundCAD, especially with the correlation, they're both going to do pretty much the same move, probably 70-80% of the time. So, if you're looking to sell PoundCAD, most of the time you probably see similar price action that will entice a sell on EuroCAD as well. So when I was looking at PoundCAD, this was definitely my main pair because of the risk reward and how it's set up. But of course I missed that one, so I hopped into EuroCAD instead, or was looking to hop into EuroCAD. It wasn't as good because it's a little bit more corrective. But in terms of the setup, we kind of broke at the consolidation there, broke for a key low, started forming some lower lows and lower highs. So I was expecting price to revisit those lows there. And luckily for me, I got a nice opportunity to short it yesterday. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to share it on time on the Telegram because I was out at the time. But some of you may have got back involved because it did come up to my entry there. But yeah, I'm looking for price to come back into the low here as my first take profit. This is the target that I had in TradingView. So we definitely could come into this area, bounce, and of course do something like that, possibly for a bigger lower high to form and then have the next major swing down. So that could be what EuroCAD wants to do. So this is where I want to lock in some profit and move my stop loss to break even. And then if it doesn't and it continues to fall, then I'm looking at this low there, which is where we had all of this momentum, which started breaking some structure quite impulsively to the upside as well. So look for price to come back into this area as my final target for the trade. I actually do think we can go further back to these lows here, but I don't want to overstay my welcome and try and push the trade too far. I'd rather wait for a pullback and get into a second position. But that will be the long-term plan for EuroCAD. But we'll see how price reacts with this first low, because again, for all we know, we could see something like that. But currently in EuroCAD, we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, EuroCAD was at the top of the watch list with gold shorts and CAD yen longs. Gold shorts didn't really manifest how I wanted it to. It still looks bearish. It looks like we might see a move to the downside. I'm still expecting more downside for gold into these lows. But I was hoping we could see one leg higher first into this area here, retest the structure around 1917, 1918, and then look for the shorts. But all we had yesterday was, of course, price was already moving sideways. Then we had some CPI news, big spike to the downside, big spike up, and now kind of slowly bleeding to the downside. Silver made quite a big move. I think gold's probably going to follow suit. But unless gold comes back up into that area, 1917, 1918, I'm probably just going to call it a miss because, I'm not too sure if I'll find another opportunity. Maybe if you're on the low time frames, you might find a nice short. But especially for me, 4H hourly ship may have sailed. And CAD Yen as well. This one's still quite bullish, but I haven't seen a big enough pullback for myself just yet. We're kind of still just slowly chugging to the upside. So I'm looking for a bigger pullback for this one. But yeah, I'm still pretty bullish on CAD Yen as well. I do think we're going up to 109. 500, which are these highs there, so there's still a little bit left in the tank, and then we see what price does at that resistance. But yeah, that was basically what my intention was yesterday, but managed to find some EuroCAD shorts. If I miss out my EURUSD settlement entry this week, I will hold it until I see a significant break of 1.6350. Other than that, I'm holding. Okay, fair enough. I was just keen to see what your kind of management was with it, because some people look to take their orders off if price runs into a different session, so they kind of keep it through London or New York, and if price doesn't tag the limit, they take it off and maybe re-enter it the next day. Or some people just leave it indefinitely, or maybe price break structure. So I was just wondering what your rules and your management was around that. But yeah, interesting. Gio, what's up? Good morning. Hope you're well. Russ, CAD Yen breakout to test the high with oil moving high. Yes, CAD kind of is very strong right now, and oil definitely is a big culprit for that. Oil's been really flying to the upside as of late, as we can see, very strong push to the upside, and of course that's been taking some strength with the CAD with it. So CAD yen's been pushing up, dollar CAD's been coming down, even though dollar has been strong as well. Euro CAD's been falling a little bit, pound CAD's been falling a little bit, Aussie CAD not so much with this one, and NZD CAD not so much. They're a little bit more sideways, and CAD CHF of course has been rising too. So yeah, that correlation definitely has shown its strength there. But yeah, I'm still pretty bullish on CAD yen, and I am looking for some buys still of CAD yen, although I probably want to see Euro CAD position go to break even first before I do enter longs on CAD yen, because it's pretty much the same kind of move I'm after. But yeah, I'm definitely bullish on CAD yen, and we'll go through some yen pairs. Let me touch on the AJPY for DAZA, then we'll go through some yen pairs because they are looking interesting. EuroCAD minor cross asset. Yeah, it's not a major pair, but again, I trade all majors, all minors, gold and silver as well. That's kind of my bread and butter. So yeah, if I see an opportunity across any of those markets, I'm happy. I'm happy to take a trade. Euro news all through. Do you have Euro news today? I haven't actually checked, to be fair. Let me go have a quick look at the old calendar. Okay, so today is Thursday. Yes. Okay, so we do have some. Okay, yes, we do have some Euro news. We got ECB interest rate decision. That's going to be interesting. So yeah, will be interesting to see what happens with that. Of course, I am in a euro position, so that will directly impact my trade. But we'll see how that pans out. Again, my take on news is that it just provides momentum, it provides movement in the market. So I'm heavily a technical trader, so my focus is just taking the trades that I'm meant to take based on the patterns and the strategy I trade, and manage it accordingly. So with news, I don't do anything different. Sometimes news will stop me out of trades, sometimes news will push trades in my direction, and vice versa. So I will hold the trade through the news and just see what happens with it. But yeah, we do have interest rate decision coming out at 1:15, so that's pretty big for euro, that. And we do have some dollar news shortly after at 1:30. Retail sales, PPI. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with dollar as well. And then tomorrow we've got some China news early in the morning. That's all UK time, by the way. And then we got some more dollar news Friday afternoon as well. So yeah, it should be interesting what happens with euro then. CAD yen best pattern asset in my opinion, but by US session. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I don't really have a particular pair that I drift towards the most. I'm very, very neutral with my trades. I just look for the best conditions, really, and best conditions for my strategy. And whenever I see that, that's the pair I normally gravitate towards. I haven't really noticed any pair doing particularly better, but I have noticed some pairs doing particularly worse, like AD&D, Euro Pound. Those pairs I do trade the least because they tend to move sideways the most, and those are just not conditions that are favored to my style. So I do tend to take less trades with them on purpose. But apart from that, most pairs do kind of trend as well as each other. So yeah, I'm pretty broad with my trades. Pound USD, what is your analysis? Okay, we'll go through a top down of Pound USD as well. Okay, I'll go through some yen pairs now before I forget. So ADJPY, Daza, you said you're short? No, long. So Aussie yen. So you said you're long on this one. So whereabouts did you get long, or when did you get long? I can see ADJPY breaking to the upside, but of course we've just come back into a pretty critical level resistance in the 4H time frame. So I do think the next bigger move for ADJPY is most likely is going to be something like this. You know, we've had a very impressive push to the upside. This is kind of our big impulse. This is what I'm treating as our correction. So I'm looking at the next impulse to the upside. So impulse, bull flag, impulse pattern. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning in my mind, but whether that happens or not is still yet to be seen. I'm personally looking to long ADJY as well, but for me to actually start doing that, I need to see these highs being taken out first, because I was starting to print some higher lows. You got one over there, second one over there, possibly third over here. So it was slowly pushing higher, but we're still failing to break through that same resistance there. So it's kind of contradicting each other, and this is still a possibility as well. So I want to see price start breaking through this, and then I'll look for my higher low there, or hypothetically over there. We'll see what kind of setup actually does form. But if we can get a break, I'll look for the next high low. So 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, we've now broken through the resistance. Price is now creating higher highs. It would be nice if you can break through this as well here on the left too. And then I'll look for some pullbacks and some longs on the retest of that structure. And in terms of targets, you've got a pretty good chance that price could come back to the highs there. So there's a lot of mileage on this one if it does really get going. But yeah, ADJPY, I can see some room to the upside, but like I said, we've still got this big old level of resistance right in front of us, 94,800. Until that breaks, I'm not quite sold just yet. We could still see a reaction to the downside like we've been seeing. The market has actually been creeping with these lower highs here, so that move there is still a possibility. So until I see something like this happen with ADJPY, I won't be looking for buys just yet. And if it does happen, when it does happen, then I'll be interested in some longs on the retest of some structure and looking to get involved in the higher low. But yeah, with the yen pairs, I do think we'll probably start seeing some big moves higher if we can get some breakouts. CAD yen looks like it's probably leading the way a little bit. Dollar yen still looking strong as well, although we are coming back into some equal highs up here. Still looking strong, still pretty consistent with the higher lows, equal lows there, higher low there potentially. Looking for the next higher high. NZD-JPY, this is similar to Aussie yen in terms of we're starting to form these higher lows, but still I want to see price start breaking through some structure, breaking through these highs here as well, and then I'll be comfortable looking to long it to the upside and anticipate the next higher low, so on and so forth. So with NZD-JPY, AJPY, they're kind of still a little bit sideways, but I am anticipating them to break out. I just want to see that big move happen to the upside first. AJPY, this one's been a little bit all over the place. We had a big old level here last week. Market kind of respected it, then broke through a little bit this week at the start. Now it's back above it. Now it looks like it's coming back for a retest. So pound yen's been fluctuating. No clear-cut opportunity from my eyes anyway. So I haven't really been looking to trade this one. I did say coming into the week on my weekly analysis that if we can see a break to the downside, something like this, that would interest me. We are still pretty consistent with these lower highs, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 there if you do get the break. Could be seeing 5 in the retest of that structure. That would be a very, very nice trade going forward. A really nice counter trend opportunity on the 4H or the hourly for pound yen. So that would be a nice opportunity there on pound yen. But at the moment, we're still kind of dancing around this support level. So I haven't really made up my mind yet with pound yen, because for all I know, we could still respect it and do something like that as well. So I'm just waiting it out, waiting for clear-cut price action, clear-cut opportunities for me to actually take any trades. Okay, so where was I? Aussie Swiss Bunny. Okay, we'll take a look. No problemo. CAD yen, I'll touch on CAD yen. Pound USD, yeah, but I was going to take a look at pound USD as well. Can take a look at oil. Okay, gracious pips, no problem. Scope TFX, CAD seat chef. I think if bullish momentum is to continue, we may see a cup and handle pattern, possibly. I'm still overly bearish on the pair from maybe a daily, weekly standpoint, but 4H has shown a lot of rejection, so we might see a push into some nearby resistance. I'll go touch on it in a bit more detail, but yeah, I agree with you. Morning life in the UK, hope you're doing good. You always love the little stories, psychological stories. Need to write them down. But let me think. there's been times where I've found some good consistency in the market, but definitely got overly greedy and starting to increase my risk. The thing is, I even increased my risk not even by much. Like, I was risking 1% and doing pretty well, and then I increased it to 2%, and then I went on a big losing streak of like six back-to-back trades. And you can imagine, if you're doing decent on 1%, and then you increase your risk to 2%, and then you go through a six trade losing streak, you're down 12% there. So you've lost quite a lot of your gains from that. So one psychological story, I should say, or at least an emotional story in trading definitely was when I started to see some nice progress, was definitely getting overconfident and not greedy, because I wasn't even greedy. Looking back, I wasn't trying to make more money. That wasn't really my intention. Of course, if you want to increase your risk, then yeah, somewhat it'd be, but it was more like, I'm doing well, I reckon I can do better in terms of my percentage returns, and level up that way. So that was kind of my main kind of purpose of increasing my risk. And it wasn't even by much. 1% to 2% is nothing. Some people risk 2%, generally speaking. So for me, it wasn't really such a big deal increasing from 1 to 2, but it's actually a pretty big deal, especially when you've been trading 1% for a long time. 2% is double everything you've ever done. So it's actually quite big. Your drawdowns are twice as big. Obviously your profits will be twice as big as well. Everything is twice as big. So even though it sounds very small, 1% to 2%, when normally people are talking like 1 to 5, which is huge, but 1 to 2% was quite big. And from a psychological standpoint, I didn't do too well after that losing streak. So I ended up lowering my risk back down to 1%, and pretty much since then I found my rhythm again. But upping to 2%, even though it's not such a big leap, it was definitely a big leap there. So I think the lesson I learned from that is not necessarily don't up your risk to 2%, but you need to understand why you're upping your risk in the first place, and do it for the right reasons if you're going to up your risk. And also be prepared mentally for both the profits and both the drawdowns, because they're obviously going to be twice as big, and it can go either ways. But yeah, I mean, again, nothing crazy happened. I didn't blow my account or anything. It just went for a bigger drawdown period than I wanted to. Took me longer to recover from it, but yeah, it was a big surprise though, because you can find some nice consistency, but then you up your risk and that kind of goes out the window a little bit. And nothing's changed. The technical analysis didn't change, trade management, whatever, didn't change. Just the fact, instead of risking 1%, you're risking 2%. So yeah, that was a nice eye opener. Anyway, so I'll go through some more yen pairs, because there's a lot of requests for the yen pairs. Yeah, pound USD we'll take a look at as well. Okay, I'll start with Aussie Swiss, because I was meant to look at that one before. Yep, gold we'll touch on it as well. Abdul, what is up? I'm in some buys in pound NZD. Okay, we'll go take a look at pound NZD as well. Arturo, what is up? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, thanks for asking. Yesterday, nice short from Aussie dollar from 0.6443 to 0.639 with CPI news. Okay, yeah, we did see price kind of plummet with the dollar pairs off the back of CPI. Of course, they quickly went back up again. So yeah, it was a little bit chaotic, but we did see a nice move to the downside. So congrats on that one. Favor, how long you were trading? How many accounts did you blow? Actually, I've never blown an account. I've definitely probably lost like maybe 70-80% of maybe 2 or 3 accounts, but I've never actually got a margin call or done anything crazy like that. And the way I lost 70-80% was by taking a lot of losses. It wasn't like a big loss. Like, I've never really been the type of person to risk even more than 5%, and that was like early stages. Like, even a small account, I wouldn't go more than 5%. I've always kind of had that kind of risk management kind of head from an early standpoint in my career. So yeah, I've never actually blown an account. I've never actually got a margin call before, but I've definitely lost 70-80% of the account of just taking loss after loss after loss and not making it back. But yeah, I've probably done that maybe 2 or 3 accounts. So that's technically my blow, I would say. Clara, what is up? Why is it when the risk is increased, the market direction, market changes direction? That's quite funny. The market can sense that you've just increased your risk, so it wants to go against you. I mean, I think it's all psychological. You create your own reality. If you think it's tougher, if you're more scared in the market, you're more anxious in the market. That's going to come back and reflect to you. If you're going to be fearful, if you're scared of a loss, you're going to take a lot of losing trades. I've been there many times where I'm anxious to get into a trade and I'm scared because I might take another loss. And ironically, that's what I manifest. I manifest losing trades. I remember one time I was in a really bad losing streak and I was like, I don't want to take another trade. It's probably going to be another loss. And then I still had that mentality and that losing streak kept going. But I find the best time, the best results, the best, when I'm at my best in the market, it's always when I'm not fearful, not greedy. I'm just there to trade to the best of my ability and take the right trades. When I have that mentality, that's when I see the best results. So yeah, well, when you're trying to increase your risk for the wrong reasons, you'll be humbled for it very quickly. Because if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, the market will find that out and you'll make mistakes and you'll be found out that way. If you do it for the right reasons, then it doesn't really matter because you're prepared for the drawdown, you're prepared for the profit, you're prepared for the swings in your P&L, and then you'll see it through. But if you do it for the wrong reasons, it could be game over. Life in the UK, so true. I made 8,000 1 month on a 11,000 account and lost all profit in no time. I got so greedy, I tripled my lot size, learned the hard way. Psychology was mental. Yeah, exactly. And again, a lot of people would have similar stories to you as well of making absurd amount on trading very early in your journey, and then expecting that to be just the norm, expecting to continue to do that, and then of course sooner or later you're going to blow the account or lose most of your gains there. And it definitely is a mental one, because if you're going to increase your risk, you got to be prepared for the increased risk when it does happen in terms of drawdown. Of course, in terms of profit, happy days. I just made 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times how much you normally make. But then, we're in a game where you can lose and win, and no one can avoid the losses. So they will eventually come, and when they do, if you're not prepared, it would take you right back down to reality. Okay, so let's touch on some yen pairs. So Aussie yen, like I said, I am bullish, but I need price to break to the upside first before I consider buying. But I do like the opportunities, just got some work to do. CAD yen as well, I am pretty bullish, but I need to see some pullbacks. I love the breakout to the upside that we had Tuesday early this week, but I've been looking for a deeper retracement. Yesterday I was talking about this area here. Didn't quite see a move there. It looks like the market's kind of slowly pushing to the upside. So we might kind of just continue in this manner here and not see the retracement I'm after. If we do have a bigger pullback, then I'll consider that higher low for some longs. But in terms of the targets for CAD yen, we are looking at price coming back into that resistance, 109.250 we'll call it, which we're not too far away from. So I'm expecting more upside for CAD yen. Pound yen, like I said, this one's just a little bit choppy in the area we're trading right now. This is a nice opportunity, but again, we've got a lot of work to do before that does eventually happen. Ends the JPY, like I said, for this one, break to the upside, some pullbacks look good, maybe a retest of the high somewhere. I would definitely be a fan of that opportunity. It's a similar one to Aussie yen as well, but they do have some work to do before I can trade them. Aussie CHF we'll take a look at before I forget this one as well. So yeah, Aussie CHF I'm still pretty bearish on. I'm looking at more downside. This is the wick I'm looking to target eventually with Aussie yen. We do have a lovely support level here which we broke through, haven't retested on the weekly chart, so I can see some room to the upside if we're going to have that deeper pullback into that area. But as of right now, I'm kind of just treating this as a pullback. We've had a really nice impulse to the downside. So this is our big impulse. That's our prior swing high. Market had a nice push to the downside. Now we're kind of in that corrective behavior. And where will it go? Potentially here, then it drops. It might not. It might just test this area here, then drop. So with Aussie yen, the pair is just very corrective, and I'm not planning to jump in straight away. I'd rather the market starts giving me lower lows and lower highs again, and then I'll look to find a trade somewhere. But if you are looking just for a solid level to get involved with, or start looking for some entries possibly, then I'll probably wait for price to come a little bit higher, or a lot higher, I should say, into 0.58685. That looks like a nice level to short from. Break retesting that level. Good possibility the market does reject it. But for me, I'll be waiting for price to start doing this first, then get on a retest of some level somewhere, and then start to short. I don't want to try and anticipate anything, especially when the market is so corrective as well. It's difficult to find really good clear-cut trades. But if you can start doing something like this, that would interest me for Aussie Swiss. But in terms of direction, definitely bearish on the pair, expecting a lot more downside, looking for eventually 0.53, 500. So I can definitely see a lot more downside. Just need to wait for a good opportunity to actually short it. Pound USD, I'll take a look at next as well. I'll go touch on oil and CAD CHF before I forget them as well. Aussie dollar, we'll take a look at. Icon FX, can I open the order? I'm not too sure what you're talking about, or which pair you're talking about, I should say. Which order? IRA, what is up? HJNNK, I'm not sure what that's about. Favor, no, it's a loss, don't open. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you guys are talking about there. How many years were you trading pound USD? How many years were you trading? Well, I've been trading for over 6 years now. But yeah, we'll take a look at pound USD. Aussie CAD game scenario, we'll take a look as well. Okay, let me go through oil, pound USD, and CAD CHF. Okay, so oil. So yeah, oil, we touched on this one briefly. Market's still looking very, very bullish. I'm looking at us coming into 92.50, I believe. Yeah, 92.50, 93, you can call it. But yeah, this is the level I'm looking for price to come into next for oil. We have broken through a critical level of resistance, which price was banging its head on for quite some time. But now we've broken through with a very, very confident breakout. And yeah, the next key level price can get to, looking at the weekly time frame, would be this 92, 93 level. So that's where I'm expecting price to head to next. We may see a pullback in that time before we do push in. We could just continue to rise. That's up to oil. But in terms of direction, I'm definitely bullish on the pair. Very confident, bullish swings, higher highs and higher lows. So yesterday I did say if we can get a pullback into this area, this looks like a nice place to long. We have seen some retracement, didn't quite come into the level, so we might see possibly one more down move to actually come into that level, and then possibly see the move to the upside. So this is kind of what I'm looking at for oil going forward. It looks like a very solid opportunity. Retest 87.90, we'll call it, and some longs or maybe the hourly time frame will look good for some entries. And of course, you can take it back to highs, or how far you look to plan to take that trade. But eventually, I'm looking at that 93 level there for oil. So I do still see more upside for it. But in terms of opportunities, this is probably the best I can see at the moment. Retested this level, we broke through for a lot of momentum, didn't get the retest of it, so it's a nice fresh level of support to buy from. Just need to see some retracement into the level first. But yeah, looking at impulse, kind of like a bull flag, and then some buys to the upside again. So that is the plan for oil. CAD CHF, like I said, for this one, I still am interested in some longs for CAD CHF. I'm looking for price to come back to the high. We're still not quite there yet. But if I can see a pullback into this area here, I would be interested in a buy. Whether we see that or not before it hits that resistance, it's up in the air. Probably not anyway, but we'll see. But yeah, we are coming back into some critical resistance now for CAD CHF. So I will be pausing on that bullish bias when we do test that level, because I'm still pretty bearish on the higher time frames. Looking at the weekly chart, we've fallen to the downside pretty aggressively. So momentum for me is still with the bears. I know that price has respected this low pretty aggressively. On the left over here, we've rejected it pretty aggressively. So it's a good sign for the buyers, but it doesn't really change anything in terms of the trend. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back here and we just fall off again, or potentially just start consolidating in between these two levels here. That could happen as well. Even if we do break to the upside, we could still just see a lower high form in comparison to that high, and then eventually fall over. So I'm not quite convinced that we've had a change in direction quite yet. Maybe in the lower time frames I can understand that, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm still pretty bearish on CAD CHF. So approaching levels like this would definitely make me pause on that bullish bias on the 4H. So if I do get a buy like this, I would not be looking to push the trade any further than this high. And yeah, when I see some nice sell opportunities, I will be inclined to get involved with them. But yeah, CAD CHF, possible cup and handle if you do have that one more retracement in the push. But we shall see. But that is where my interest lies for some longs anyway. Pound USD, we'll take a look at this from top-down analysis. So as I said, for Pound USD on the higher time frames, we are pretty bearish. This is the monthly chart. As you can see, a very kind of slow decline in price, but we are still placing in these lower lows and lower highs. So I am pretty bearish on Pound USD on the higher time frames. I think there's a good chance we'll probably come back and retest this key level of support here. As you can see there, big support 1, 2, 3, had that big break, and now I think price most likely will come back for a retest. Maybe a push up, maybe a breakthrough, who knows, we'll see when we get there. But that's kind of the direction, the target I have on the higher time frames, because I'm looking at this being a massive impulse, correction. We've come back to some key areas there on the left, and we've had a really nice kind of bull, not bull flag, sorry. Had a nice inverse head and shoulders, not inverse, just a normal head and shoulder. We had a nice head and shoulder pattern here, which is broken through the neckline and given us some really nice lower lows and lower highs. So for Pound USD, there's a good chance we're coming back to some of these areas. We're kind of really respecting a level of support, resistance turn support here. So that's kind of why we're dancing around a little bit, but I'm still expecting more downside for Pound. So the next major target, apart from the support level we're trading at right now, I'm looking at this swing low here at 1.23294. So in my books, Pound USD can still fall a lot lower. Coming into the week, I did say I would love to see a retest of this area here. Price come up, retest that, and then fall to the downside. Whether we see that or not, I'm not too sure. Price as of right now is kind of just consolidating. So yeah, I'm not really seeing a clear-cut opportunity to jump into Pound USD at the moment. Again, the only thing I'm looking for is still short. 1.235 is the next major target. We're still printing these lower highs, as we can see, and lower lows as well. So the directional bias is pretty clear at this point. Just need a clear opportunity, but at the moment, dropping to the hourly, looks like we are breaking to the downside a little bit here. But for me, I suppose this could be like a head and shoulder pattern as well, to be honest. Just a very messy one and nothing that I would like to trade, to be honest. But yeah, I do fancy another leg lower for Pound. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, that's kind of my outlook on Pound USD. I'll touch on Pound NZD. Abdul said you're looking to long, or you already long Pound NZD. Okay, we'll discuss that one shortly. Okay, Aussie dollar we'll take a look at as well. Aussie CAD, dollar, yen, gold we'll touch on too. What's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Hope you are too. I'm going to trade on Pound USD. Entry 1.25. Sell. Do you think it might get to 1.24342 before the news? Okay, where is that? 1.24342. 342. So that's the low there. Potentially, it's a bit of an ask for price to push that much. I mean, how many pips is that? It's not many pips, 40 pips. We could see it, but I think price, especially when we do get to bigger announcements, especially for dollar anyway, price does have a tendency to dry up a little bit and then kind of just wait for the news to be the catalyst to get things going. So I think a move back down to the low there before the news may be a bit of a stretch. Momentum's looking good. We have kind of cleared out some of these lows here on the lower time frame, so we kind of are breaking some structure and we're seeing some nice momentum there. So, you know, I would expect it to continue to fall, but to get to the wick there, I don't know. Again, we're not fortune tellers here, so I wouldn't know. But my best guess would be I would doubt it to get all the way down there, but hey, it could happen. I have no idea. You know, all I do is just work out my directional bias and look at places that I want to buy and sell from, and then that's about it. But yeah, I think it's a bit much to do it before the news. I mean, it's 11 o'clock now. The news comes out at 1:30, so you're looking at 2.5 hours potentially. It'll be a close one, I think, maybe. Okay, so Aussie CAD. Okay, Aussie dollar says we're gonna look at first, and then I'll take a look at Aussie CAD. We'll go for dollar yen gold as well. Yeah, quite a few requests for gold. Okay, let me first go through Aussie dollar and AUD CAD. Very similar pairs. So Aussie dollar, I'm expecting more downside for this particular market. Again, I've been preaching 0.62 for so long right now. I remember I was talking about this low here when we were over here, and what's the time span? Time span's been 280 days or 270 days. That's almost a year since I've been talking about price coming back to this low. And that's the fun thing about looking at the higher time frames and looking at longer term targets. It does make trading simpler, but of course it could take its time. But again, the way I trade is that I'm not looking to hold one big long trade back to the low here. I'm just looking to take small pieces of the cake. So what it does for me is that it simplifies my trading, because I know that, okay, the high time frame bias, I'm looking for price to come here. Therefore, when I'm looking at my trades and certainly looking at shorts, you know, it makes everything easier, because I know, okay, I'm expecting price to come here. So all I'm looking to do is find some good sell opportunities. So any buys, pretty much, unless they're very good, I will just ignore and just focus on looking at sells, and it makes me a lot more confident in my trading as well. Not that I know for a fact we will get there, but if the trend does continue in the higher time frame, we most likely will. So in terms of probability, looking at shorts makes absolute sense. So Aussie dollar, I'm still expecting more downside for it. But as of right now, kind of just consolidating. So like I've been saying since last week, until we break out this consolidation here, I'm not really looking at doing anything with Aussie dollar. Thank you so much, Adnan, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out. If you're finding it useful, informative, all the above, you know, make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe. Really does help out the channel. Make sure you do hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads. But yeah, I appreciate everyone subscribing and dropping a like. We're almost at 10k subscribers as well. Nice little milestone. Anyway, so Aussie dollar, we're kind of just moving sideways. We are respecting this prior low here, so we do have an incentive to break to the downside and head lower, of course, with the high time frame trend as well. But would I want to sell anything in here? From a swing perspective, no. I can understand day trading, scalping. Yes, sure, you find some opportunities in there, of course, on the lower time frames. But for me, this is just a little bit too sideways. So what I'm waiting for Aussie dollar is definitely price breaking through this low here at 0.637. And then that's when I'll start looking for some opportunities to go short, start printing some lower highs again, start seeing some nice bearish momentum again. And then I'll be keen to take some sells on a retest, some structure, and look to ride it to the downside. 0.62 is not too far away anymore, just over here. That could potentially be done in one trade potentially. But yeah, AUD USD, I do see a lot more downside for this pair. I'm not keen on shorting it right now. Like I said, we're still in that range. For all I know, we could still continue to do something like this and mess around. So I'm trying to avoid all of that kind of noise. But once we start establishing some clarity in the direction, some momentum, then yeah, sure, I'll be more than happy to look for some longs, and you got some clear targets to aim for to the downside as well. But that's what I'll be looking at for Aussie dollar. So I'm kind of just waiting for the breakout. And yeah, quite a few dollar pairs are kind of moving sideways. Someone pointed out earlier, Euro USD is a little bit sideways, Pound USD is a little bit sideways too. And I would agree with that, and I would add Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar to the pile as well. These are kind of moving sideways too, and not really seeing much direction at the moment. Dollar CAD, I suppose there's a bit more of a trend there. Dollar Swiss, that one's definitely moving sideways as well. So yeah, I feel like the dollar pairs are waiting for some type of catalyst, something to get things going. Most of the time that will be a news announcement, whether it will be the news coming out later today or maybe some news next week, is yet to be seen. We could still consolidate for the rest of the week. But yeah, we do have some news coming out, so hopefully that can cause some breakouts. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on dollar. So pairs like Aussie dollar, more downside, Euro dollar, more downside, Pound dollar, more downside, New Zealand dollar, more downside. So that's kind of my bias. It has been for a few weeks now, and until we hit those targets, it probably will remain as such. Anyway, so I'll go take a look at AUD CAD, or touch on dollar yen as well, and gold. So AUD CAD, bearish bias as well for this one, but just not as clean as AUD. They're both very, very similar pairs. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably just veer to AUD. This one has been trending to the downside for quite a while, as we can see, consistent lower highs here, but definitely a more choppy pair with the trend here. But yeah, in terms of direction, I do see another drop to the downside. I kind of pointed out this impulse here, and I'm looking at kind of like a weird correction, if you will, like a weird kind of bear flag, and then I'm looking at another drop to the downside. So impulse, kind of pause, correction, impulse. That's kind of the move I'm looking for. If you zoom out, you can see AUD CAD's been making these consistent lower highs in the 4H as well. I'm kind of looking at that pattern continuing. So yeah, next move I've got for AUD CAD is a move to the downside. In terms of actually getting involved and looking to short, I'm not seeing a clear-cut opportunity unless we come back to the highs there, possibly some shorts back at the resistance there at 0.875. Other than that, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing such a clear opportunity to get short, other than maybe a break and retest as well. Although you do have some areas here to watch out for too, so I would be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, from a analytical viewpoint, I'm expecting another leg lower. So if you are looking to short, I would wait for a retest of the high. If not, it probably might not be the best pair to actually look to trade. I think if we can get a breakout of Aussie dollar, that could be a really nice short. Dollar yen we'll touch on, and I'll move on to gold. A few requests for gold. Okay, so dollar yen still bullish bias, but again, not really looking to buy dollar yen right now. We're approaching some resistance here, which you had a triple top not too long ago, and actually came in again for a fourth time. So we are finding it really hard to break through this 147,800 level. So as a result, I don't really want to be buying at these prices. I'd rather wait for some type of pullback, or even better yet, price to break through, pull back, and then buy, and then we look to kind of continue those higher lows, because price has been pretty bullish for quite some time here with dollar yen, and you can see pretty healthy structure as well, all these higher lows. So we're kind of just looking for that trend to continue. Daily chart, I'm looking at 150 as a huge level of resistance. We could slowly be working our way towards 150, 181. This is what provided us with a humongous move to the downside. So chances are we're probably coming back to go and retest that same area. So yeah, as long as we kind of continue this bullish structure with the higher highs and higher lows, then that is the area I'll be expecting dollar yen to make its way towards. So if you're looking at trading dollar yen, I would highly wait for a breakout to the upside, and then look for some pullbacks after that. Or maybe if we come back and respect support again, that might be a nice place for a buy as well. So if we come back and respect the same support level, kind of what we did over here, came back, respected the same support level over here. Oh, deleted the wrong one. There we go. So as you can see, we came back, respect the same support, nice move to the upside. We could repeat that pattern, do it again, or potentially wait for the break above the high and then a retest, and then some longs there as well. Either which way though, we are looking for continuation in these higher lows. So yeah, with dollar yen still bullish, not seeing an opportunity to do anything right now unless you drop right down to the lower time frames. But we are approaching some big resistance here, so buys don't make sense really for me from a swing point of view, unless we start breaking through the high and looking for some pullbacks. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so gold, I'll take a look at gold next. What time is news today? We got 1:15 euro interest rate decision. ECB interest rate decision at 1:15, I believe. Yes, at 1:15, and then at 1:30. So this is all UK time, by the way. 1:30 we got PPI for dollar. So yeah, so we got 1:15, 1:30. So in about 2 hours from now, 2 hours 15 minutes is when we got some euro and dollar news shortly after. No problem. Happy to help. Miko, gotta go sort that smoke alarm. The thing is, I can't even hear it. Like, thinking about it now, I think I've probably heard a beat, but I'm accustomed to it. So I don't notice it. Until you guys mention it. But yeah, I will have to go sort out the smoke alarm. Game scenario: how to spot potential consolidation quickly. Just look to see how the market is moving in terms of its highs and lows. Again, all I kind of look for a consolidation is 2 equal highs and 2 equal lows, and that for me is consolidation. So if the market is doing this, for example, we push up, higher highs, higher lows, but now we start fading at the highs, then respect the low again, then that for me is consolidation. We could obviously break out of that and continue the trend, but we need to clear the high or the low first, and then we can kind of continue the momentum. So all I'm looking for consolidation is at least 2 equal highs, and then price coming back to respect the low or respect the high, depending which way. And yeah, that's kind of how I box off consolidation. I want to see price keep progressing with higher highs or lower lows, depending which way the trend is going. If we start respecting highs and or respecting lows, then that means a sign that, okay, the trend is running out of steam, maybe looking at consolidation, maybe a reversal. So until we start breaking back above the highs or breaking back below the lows, that's kind of what I anticipate consolidation before it starts. And then potentially it might continue to build, and then eventually we get the breakout. So that's kind of how I look to spot consolidation. Okay, I'll go take a look at gold. UK 100 we'll take a look at as well. Pound USD is bearish now. Yeah, it was looking a little bit bearish when I was looking at it before. Yeah, it is pushing to the downside. Let's see if it can get to the wick low before the news comes out. Okay, let me go take a look at gold before I forget. So gold, I am still short bias with it. I'm not really seeing a clear-cut opportunity as I was seeing yesterday before we had CPI. Again, this is still the destination I have for gold in terms of my analysis. I'm looking for us to come back into the low there, 1886. We came back in respect to the lovely level of resistance here on the left. And looks like that gave us our next swing high. So we had obviously one over there, then the second one, then the third one. Now price has been slowly working its way to the downside. We had a nice kind of head and shoulder pattern, which we discussed the past couple of days. So we got the left shoulder there, the head over there. Wow, that was weird. Let me do that again. So left over here, there we go, head over there, and the right shoulder. So that's kind of what we were looking at for gold for its head and shoulder pattern. We've broken through the kind of neckline of the pattern. Yesterday I was looking for the retest of this low here for some shorts, which still may happen potentially if we see something like this. Although right now gold is kind of moving very correctively right now, so we may break to the upside, we may continue to move in this sluggish manner and drop to the downside, kind of like what silver did Silver was moving very sluggishly, very correctively, not really doing too much, but eventually kind of just trickled to the downside and picked up some nice bearish momentum. And gold, which does move very similar to silver, and what I found is that normally silver makes the move first, and normally gold then follows shortly after. So now that we've seen silver have this drop to the downside, there's a good probability that gold's going to do the same thing. It may continue to consolidate first, consolidate before it may push up before it does fall, but there's a good chance gold does continue to roll over. So yeah, right now, if gold stays in this area, it's just a very difficult kind of situation to find some trades. Unless you're on the lower time frames, maybe you can short back at the high of the channel and then take advantage of some sells up there and then look for a push. But this is still kind of my area of confluence around 1918, 1917, as you can see with those lower highs there. So I'm kind of looking for the next one, and then, yeah, some sells back into the low there for gold. But yeah, still particularly bearish for gold here. The price action is a little bit choppy now. We still do have a nice area slightly above it. Will we test it or not? Not too sure. Maybe the news could push us into that area. CPI didn't really do anything to be fair to gold or the rest of the dollar pairs, to be honest. We kind of just wick lower, wicked higher a little bit. But if you generally look at the price, or the average price since the news came out, it hasn't really changed too much really since before the news. So maybe PPI might do something different, or it could just do the exact same thing, a couple of wicks here and there, and prices will kind of just move sideways. We will see. But yeah, in terms of direction, 1890. So if you can find some nice pullbacks on the time frames that to trade on, and that obviously fit your plan and have the right confluences, then yeah, shorts do look very, very good for gold. But yeah, corrective price action at the moment. Okay, so we'll go take a look at UK 100. Asim, what is up? Good morning, hope you're good. GJ looks good to go north on the 1H. Okay, we'll take a look. What's your take on it, considering your analysis generally is done a higher time frame, which is better? Okay, we'll have a look, see. I'll have a look at UK 100 as well. US 500. Okay, we'll go through a bunch of indices. We'll take a look at S&P, UK, US 30, NAS. Swiss yen. Okay, Leon, we'll take a look. Yep, NASDAQ, we'll take a look as well. Euro pound. Excuse me. Yep, CHFJ pound Aussie. I'm still looking at some longs there, so I'm interested in that pair myself. Josh, I like the way you use market structure in analyzing the chart, learning a lot. Good to hear, Josh. Good to hear. Yeah, Bitcoin, we'll touch on that one as well. UK 100. We'll take a look at. Okay, first let's go through pound yen. I think that was requested first. Yeah, so we'll take a look at pound yen, and then we'll go through some indices after as well. Okay, so pound yen. So you said you're looking at a potential long opportunity. So yeah, if pound yen can hold this support, we could probably see a move to the upside. But again, we have been dancing on this level of support many times. We broke through it. Well, first of all, we respected it, then we broke through, and we broke back above, then we respected it again on Wednesday. Now we're coming back in. So pound yen for me, if it does break to the downside like this and get some shorts, then I really do like this short opportunity. This will look very good because you have been pretty consistent with these lower highs here. So I do like the sells if we do break below. That's the only if. But at the moment, yeah, you're right. Prices holding on to support. Maybe you could see a move to the upside. We are printing these high lows a little bit. We are coming back into that area. If we can hold this, possibly a move to the upside there. It does kind of fit the bill. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, high time frames, daily, weekly. For me, I can still see a bullish trend at play here. So I am still bullish on pound yen. Don't get it twisted. But do I want to long the pair? No, not particularly, because we've been forming these lower highs. The market kind of has tested the support many times, and in my opinion, if we're actually going to go bullish and see some higher highs, we probably would have done that by now. So the fact that we are still creating those lower highs doesn't give me a lot of confidence to go long the pair. Therefore, if we can actually break through and get a retest, the shorts actually look pretty good going forward. So it's not a bad place to long, because we're obviously coming back into a very sensible, significant level of support. But because of those lower highs than the 4H, I'm not so particularly keen on getting long. I'm not to say you can't find a nice buy there, you probably can, but I'm not too sure how far it would go or how long it would last. We may see a nice bullish reaction, push up, maybe form a lower high and drop, similar to what we've done, previously, looking at these highs here as well. So longs at that level do make sense. We're coming back into a significant level of support, but my only thing I would say is that we might not go too fast. So you might want to look and take a profit quicker than normal, or of course just manage your trade how you normally manage the trade. But my verdict would be yes, nice place to buy. Not too sure how far we can go. Could just form a lower high and fall to the downside as well. Okay, so hopefully that made sense on pound yen, but I'm not too particularly keen on buying for this one. CAD yen, I do like the buys. Dollar yen, if we can break through, I like the buys, but pound yen, not quite convinced just yet. Okay, let's go through some indices. A bunch of indices being requested. We'll go through Bitcoin as well. A couple requests for Swiss yen. I mean, I suppose we'll take a look at Swiss yen right now because we're on the yen pairs, and I'll go through some indices all together. Capped in my hands on the trigger. Give the order, I'll fire. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know what trigger your hand is on, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not going to give the order for you on that one, unfortunately, just in case. Anyway, so we'll go through Swiss yen. Okay, so Swiss yen, this is similar to pound yen in terms of the price action, because we've got a big level of support which the market has been failing to break through, or it's had a couple of breaks but nothing sustained. Same thing with pound yen as well. We've had a couple of breaks, nothing sustained. Price is now back above that same area, but we have been falling some lower highs as well. So for Swiss yen as well, if you do see a strong break to the downside, I do really like this short opportunity. It's kind of very similar to pound yen as well. This looks like a really good short opportunity if it does happen, if we do see that break. If not, then we might just continue to range. We may see a push to the upside. Again, Swiss yen is just kind of in a weird place right now where I wouldn't look to touch anything in here. This is a ranging market. It's not really having any clear directional bias right now. We're still respecting big levels of support, big levels of resistance. So I don't really want to do anything in that particular area until we do break out either to the upside of 166,500 or we break to the downside of 164,500. Then I'll be interested in something. But as of right now, Swiss yen just kind of moving sideways, So I'm kind of with in the same boat as pound yen, euro yen as well. That was kind of moving sideways too, respecting equal highs and respecting equal lows there too. So yeah, I'm not really trying to do anything there with them. So you said you're looking to short. Yeah, I suppose sales do make sense from looking at these lower highs. So yeah, it does make sense, but it's just, look at the nature of the market, look at the conditions. I wouldn't really want to be shorting that. If it does break lower, then yeah, sure, that sure looks good. This one not as good, so I'd rather wait for that than try and anticipate the sales beforehand. But yeah, Swiss yen for me, just in a rough area, I would stay away personally. Okay, so we'll go through a bunch of indices. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as well whilst we're there too, and I'll take a look at Pound Aussie and Euro Pound too. Yep, natural gas, we'll throw that into the pile as well. Arturo. JPY on moving averages, one-way ticket mostly. Yeah, I mean, they've been pushing to the upside for quite a while now. So, and again, I'm in the higher time frames. If you look at the daily, the weekly, the monthly for the yen pairs, they're all still pointing up as well. So That's why I'm really hesitant to look to short any of the yen pairs from my trading style, because I'm looking for a bit more of a swing trade. You can get away with day trading and scalping because you're not going to be looking to hold the trade too long. You're not looking for many pips. But if you're swing trade, you're trying to hold the trade maybe 2-3 days, it's a little bit difficult to short any yen pair really for 2-3 days. You might see a couple days going down, but that third day could just correct itself and we see that bullish momentum kick back in again. So you're much just better off waiting for clear-cut buys than trying to look for any aggressive sells. Unless we see some really nice development to the downside, then sure, there could be some nice sells from a swing perspective anyway. But you're much better off looking for some short-term sells if you're looking to short the yen pairs. Because if you just look at the history and look at the recent price action, these just continue to push up. So, why look to try and look for a longer term sell when you're going to be having a lot more luck with any longer term buy? Anyway, let's go through some indices. So we'll start off US 100. So this one has, again, indices that have been a little bit torn, especially the US ones. The market has been moving sideways. We've been seeing some lower highs here as well, as we can see. We've also been seeing some higher lows. So with the yen, about to say the yen pairs, with the indices, or NAS at least, there is no clear-cut directional bias for me. I need to see price consistently pushing to one direction. Whether it's up or down doesn't really matter. But when I'm getting lower highs and higher lows at the same time, then we're kind of getting price squeezing together in this triangle. But I forget what the pattern is called. But sort of when price is just squeezing together. And eventually we'll see a breakout and see price start committing to one direction. When we see that happen, that's when I'll have a clear-cut bias of which way we could potentially go. So until I see that, I'm kind of a bit more neutral on NAS. Coming back into areas of resistance, you probably find some nice joy there, selling at these highs or likewise buying at these lows, because we are kind of just squeezing together. So most likely we'll come back and respect resistance, see a move to the downside and vice versa. But in terms of a high probability trade, in terms of my directional bias, I don't really have a solid one at the moment with US 100. I'm kind of just waiting for price to either start breaking through some highs, and then I'll look for some pullbacks, and then that will be a nice buy, or same for the sells as well. Don't have either of that just yet. So with NAS 100, if you are keen to trade it, I would keep an eye on the highs and the lows. So 15,400 and also 15,100. These look good for some places to sell from and buy from. Other than that, I'll kind of wait for a clearer directional bias before I do anything. Okay, so hope that made sense with US 100. I'll go touch on S&P and US 30 next. We'll take a look at UK 100 too. No problem, happy to help. Sell bearish pound USD. TP 70 pips, stop loss 70 pips. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sales in pound USD just yet. It's kind of still moving a little bit sideways. Yeah, potentially could be slowing for the move as well. I mean, all the yen pairs are kind of at big heights where kind of last year this time we were seeing a lot of intervention from the Bank of Japan, and of course seeing some really crazy moves. So could see that happen at any point really, because those moves aren't they happen when they happen. It's not like it's planned to happen at this certain time, or at least for our information anyway. So yeah, that could happen at any time pretty much. Yeah, HD almost at 10k by end of the month, hopefully by the end of the month. On track for it anyway. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone who subscribed over the past 3 years now. I've been doing these uploads, these streams as well. So I really do appreciate everyone who's said kind messages, learned a lot from the channel, subscribed, dropped a like. Yeah, really do appreciate all of that from you guys. But yeah, almost at 10k. Hopefully you can hit it pretty soon. Okay, so let me go through some more indices before I forget. What's up, Fabu Gift? Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Just drawing greetings all the way from South Africa. Nice. Whereabouts in South Africa? Let me know. Okay, so let me go through some more indices. So yeah, US 100, like I said, unclear bias. US 30, kind of the same thing, but this one I do favor sells. Because as you can see, we are printing higher lows there equally with lower highs too. So I am kind of seeing the same thing with US 100 as well. And of course, these indices will move typically in a similar manner. But yeah, in terms of US 30, I actually do like the shorts for US 30 because there's a bit more of a bearish trend to play with US. Oh, did not mean to do that at all. There's a bit more of a bearish trend to play with in regards to US 30, but US 100 for me, that's just kind of just sideways. But US 30, we do have a bit of a trend here. So coming back to retest some structure there, which we already respected a few times, 1, 2, and 3. This looks like naturally a nice place to sell from. 34,700 could see a nice drop back into 34,323. So that's kind of what I'm looking for US 30. We're not too far away from that resistance again, so we may come back up, retest it. You can look for some entries probably on the hourly chart, maybe even lower as well. And yeah, look for some sales to the downside. But again, I wouldn't be too greedy with the shorts. I wouldn't try and push it past 34,343. Reason being, we're still printing these higher lows and we could come back, respect the area. Thank you so much, Rick Artem. Probably said that incorrectly, but I appreciate subscribing to the channel. And of course, that goes for everyone as well. If you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out. But yeah, at the same time for US 30, we might see a nice drop. But coming back into this level here, we may just respect the support and just start flying to the upside as well. So I would be careful with how far you look to push that trade US 30 wise. But yeah, I do fancy shorts at that 34,700 level. S&P 500, kind of the same thing as well. We're printing these higher lows here. So you can see the indices kind of like doing the exact same thing. So we're kind of getting this squeeze here. And kind of waiting for the market to pick its direction, whether we're going to break to the upside or break back down. Oh, did not mean to do that. Is yet to be known. So yeah, with S&P coming back into the high there, may see a move to the downside as well. But again, I wouldn't try and push it too far back into this level here. Could see another higher low and price push back up again. So might find some nice short-term sells, maybe from the news. But we may just pick up that higher low later on and keep pushing up. So yeah, watch out for the shorts. But I do like US 500 shorts from the high 44.85. I do like US 30 shorts from the high 34.739. But I would be conservative with these trades because the direction for all the major US indices isn't really clear to me just yet. Okay, so I'll go through Bitcoin, natural gas. We'll take a look at UK 100 first, and then we'll go through pound AUD and euro pound as well. Has GU been analyzed already? Yes, I have had a look at pound USD. If you probably scroll back maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe not even that, but you'll be able to see with the what's it called again, the watermark on the screen. It will of course say pound USD when you get to it. But yeah, if you scroll back 10 minutes, you probably will see the analysis to it. Pound CAD tanking, breaking support. Yeah, I think is pound weak because pound USD was looking pretty bearish there. Yeah, pound CAD looking pretty bearish. How's my euro CAD trade doing? Not too bad at all. Not too far away from the first TP, but we do have Euro news coming out in the next hour and 45 minutes. It would be nice. It would be nice if I can obviously get to my first take profit before the news and take my partials and go to break even before the news comes out. Will we get there before the news? I'm not too sure. We've still got quite a bit of work to do before we do that. Of course, if it doesn't happen, I'm still holding the trade through the news. So regardless what happens, I'll still be holding the trade through. If it comes back and takes me out for a loss, it does that. If it shoots the downside, fantastic. But yeah, it would be nice if we can take some partials off before the news, but we'll see. Yeah, pound AUD is looking pretty bearish. Still no entry confirmation there yet. That can still pull back, but not looking good for entries at the moment. But yeah, it does look like pound is pretty weak. Pound yen, that's seeing a little bit of downside, but yen's pretty weak as well. So it's got a big battle there. Pound CHF pushing down, euro pound pushing up as well. We'll touch on euro pound shortly. So yeah, it does look like pound is pretty weak across the board. But we'll see how that continues coming into the rest of the day with some news coming out. Okay, so let me go through UK 100, natural gas, and Bitcoin. Okay, so UK 100. Okay, so we're pushing back into a key area of resistance. So yesterday we were looking at UK 100. I said we'll probably find some nice upside back into that resistance. And then from here, we'll see what price can do, because price has been forming major lower highs for quite a while now. So we had one over there, second over there, third, and potentially could be seeing price form a fourth. If price wants to continue in that pattern, if not, and we break out of this, then of course we could see UK 100 just start doing this all the way back to the highs. But if it does want to sell off, this is coming up to a prime area where we could see that happen. So I will keep a close eye on the price action with UK 100. Of course, right now we're still very, very bullish, so I would avoid looking to short anything right now, because yeah, the market is still very, very bullish, but we are in that vicinity where we could see the market start slowing down, start throwing some wicks, start rejecting the area, and we might take a nice tumble back down to the lows. You can see if I go in the daily chart, we've been respecting the same level of support for quite a while now, since December 2022. First, second, third, fourth market keeps breaking through this, but it's either we're going to continue to do this kind of price action, squeezing between the trend line and the support, or eventually we're going to break out and continue that higher time frame trend. So we're kind of coming into that pivotal area right now where price will make up its mind whether it wants to respect the area and come back down or break through. So I would, if you're interested in trading UK 100, I'll keep my eyes peeled on the current price action here, because that's where we'll probably make our decision if we're looking for a longer term sell or a longer term buy. So yeah, that's my kind of point of view on UK 100, but at the moment, very, very bullish. Okay, so we'll touch on natural gas. Then we'll move on to Bitcoin. So natural gas still in the range, I see. Yes, it is. So yeah, natural gas still kind of trading within the range. So I'm not a big fan of the price action here with natural gas. Looks like we're approaching the same resistance which we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. Price came in there, had a nice sell off to the downside. Price came back, pretty much respected the low, the consolidation again. Looks like we're coming back to the highs. So with natural gas, naturally you're kind of looking at sells back at the highs and buys back at the lows here. That's the safest place to get into any trades in my books, because up here you can have a safe stop loss, and of course down there you can have a pretty safe stop loss as well. So I'm kind of looking at the market just ranging between these two levels. If we do get the breakout of 2.850, then we've got a pretty good chance the market will come back to the high there on the left. So looking at some pullbacks and some retests above this area, could be some really nice longs back into the high over there. But right now, the areas of value for natural gas, at least in the 4H, is definitely the high up there and definitely the low down here. So that's kind of the only areas which I would look to engage in any trades. Anything in this region here, I kind of would disregard as no man's land, just because it's so choppy and so speculative, hard to get a clear-cut entry and a clear-cut stop loss and find a good trade there. But up here and down there, you can find some clearer trades to take, which make a lot more sense. So yeah, if you're looking at natural gas, I'll keep an eye on that 2.85 area. It does look like we've picked up some nice momentum, so we probably might continue the momentum for the rest of the day, or the rest of the week, to be fair. It's already Thursday, so potentially for the rest of the week back into the high, and then we can see what we can do from there. But yeah, natural gas has been consolidating for quite a while, since mid-June, or towards the end of June actually. We've been consolidating, so yeah, we're bound to see a breakout sooner or later, but at the moment, still moving sideways. And Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, my verdict on Bitcoin is still short. I'm still looking at price taking out the low here on the left. That's still the directional bias for Bitcoin. Looking at another drop to the downside, go and take out these lows. We had a very strong impulse to the upside, but we never broke structure fully. We did maybe see a candle closure above it, but we never really sustained that. We came straight back below. Now we're seeing pretty aggressive momentum back to the downside. So I'm looking at Bitcoin breaking lower and continues the trend to the downside. I'm looking at Bitcoin coming to these prices here. So although Bitcoin's looking quite choppy right now, I do think we'll kind of maybe continue this, maybe see one more spike up, and then we might drop to the downside. I'm not really seeing a clear-cut trading opportunity, to be honest, because obviously analysis and actual trading is completely different. Analysis just basically describes looking at direction, where we could do potential targets. Trading is looking at, okay, where are my areas of value, where's a good place to enter, where's a good place to put your stop loss. Management, that's, they encompass two different things. So actually looking to trade this one. We are coming back into resistance here, but would I really want to be shorting at these prices? Unless you're in the lower time frames, you're looking for a quick scalp, maybe. A swing trade, not really. We've thrown a lot of wicks down here. It's not really a smart place to be looking to short into. So maybe if you pull back deeper into some of these areas up here, we had a brief level of consolidation, which we broke through for a lot of momentum, and haven't come back for a retest of. That possibly could be a nice place to short around 27k. But that's probably the best I can see at the moment for Bitcoin in terms of an actual good place to trade it and take a sell. But yeah, Bitcoin kind of just moving sideways. Okay, so okay, which pair I haven't done yet? I haven't done pound Aussie or euro pound. So yeah, I'll go through those two. If I have missed out a pair, let me know. AUD CAD I'll take a look at as well. S&P 500, I just had a look at that one. How long have you been trading? Just over 6 years now, since I first got introduced into trading. What is the logic behind the order Euro CAD? Okay, I'll go through the analysis shortly. Let me just go through a few more pairs that people have requested, and I'll go through the analysis of the position. Bias on gold, pretty bearish on gold. Still expecting a push to 1890 for gold, so expecting more downside. Ben A, how do you go about trading ranges? I don't. I don't go about it. Because again, in trading, you don't have to trade everything. You don't have to find a trade everywhere. You can suss out your ideal opportunity, your ideal market conditions, your ideal setup, and just wait for those setups to come. And it makes trading so much easier because there's no rule to trade ranges. You don't have to trade a range. You can simply just sit on your hands, and that's kind of what I do. I don't like trading ranges. I like trading trends, so that's where my focus lies. So when the market is ranging, I'm not looking to trade it. I'm sitting on my hands because I know my best trades come when the market is trending, when I've got clear direction. So if I know that's when my best trades come, then what's the point of me looking to trade ranges? Doesn't make any sense. That's the time I'm gonna probably lose money rather than make money. So yeah, I don't. Of course, some people make their money trading ranges. I'm just not one of those traders. Anyway, so the AUD CAD, Euro Pound, and Pound AUD. So Pound AUD, like I said, we're in a fantastic level for some buys, but we need to wait for the entry confirmation. Pound is particularly weak right now, so we need to see a strong shift momentum to tell us that, okay, buyers are back in town again. Not quite seeing that right now. Not quite seeing that, are we? We could actually be seeing price break and close underneath, and we still do have 2 hours and 13 minutes before the candle does close. So a lot can happen, but yeah, we have no confirmation. So for all we know, we could be breaking beneath this and continue to fall. But in terms of the analysis, the trade setup, this looks like a fantastic place to go long. Just need to wait for a good entry signal, but at the moment we're not seeing that. So if I can see a strong shift in momentum, maybe a nice bullish engulf from the 4H, that'll be a nice entry confirmation, and we can look for some buys to take it back up again. But at the moment, we are not getting that. So it's a waiting game with pound AUD. We well could be breaking to the downside and keep falling. But if we can turn it around, then maybe there could be some nice buys soon. But as of right now, nothing to be seen. Euro pound, we're talking about some shorts on this one, and we're coming back into the same area of confluence. So as you can see with the lower highs here, 1, 2, and 3, looking for a push to the downside for euro pound, and again possibly a push to the low of the range. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of euro pound because of the way it's moving, equal highs, equal lows, just not really good conditions at all. This actually could be seen as a slight kind of bowl shape pattern, gone from lower lows to equal lows to higher lows. Might see a push down, but it might just form a higher low and keep pushing up again. So I'm not a big fan of the price action of euro pound, hence why I'm not looking to trade it myself. But anyone keen on trading euro pound, there's a nice area of value here. We've been forming these lower highs here. Could be seeing another one form for push back down again. So definitely is a smart place to put your stop loss above. But yeah, conditions aren't fantastic with euro pound, so I'm not looking to trade it. I haven't been looking to trade it for the past couple of months now. Ever since we started showing glimpses of a range here back in late June, I haven't really had much intention of trading pound. And yeah, we're continuing that range. So we'll have to wait for a bigger breakout for me to get involved. But we are coming to a nice place for potential lower highs. So if you're keen on it, that's where I'll look to trade it if I had to. But yes, gaming scenario, we are at that area of confluence. Okay, so 80 CAD. So like I said, for 80 CAD, shorts do look good for this one, but we're kind of just moving sideways a little bit. I am looking at price pushing back down into the low here at 0.86. That definitely is the plan for Aussie CAD. We have been forming these lower highs here, as you can see, lower high, lower high, lower high for quite a while. I'm looking at price coming back into the low here. So that definitely is the target for Aussie CAD. And yeah, I'm looking at a nice impulse, consolidation. So technically impulse, retracement or bear flag, and then I'm looking at the next impulse to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for AD CAD going forward. In terms of the actual opportunities to get involved, I would say your best bet is probably a retest of the high. Come back, retest the high, 0.875, look for your shorts up there, and then look for your sell-off. Or wait for a break of the consolidation, clear the low, look for your retest, and then sell. That could be a possibility as well. I'm not the biggest fan of AD CAD because, again, it's a little bit messy. Arguably, this is consolidation as well. If it wasn't for the high time frame trend, probably just disregard this as just consolidation and move on. But I am looking at a drop to the downside back into the lows here for Aussie CAD longer term on the daily chart there. So yeah, shorts look good for this one, but I do prefer AUDUSD. I think this one's a lot cleaner of a setup. If you can break to the downside, get a retest of that structure, shorts will look good for another move lower, but we shall see. Okay, I'll go through my Euro CAD setup. Yep, US 30. I had a look at that one about 5-10 minutes ago. If you scroll back, you'll see the analysis to it. AJPY. Okay, we'll touch on that as well. Big news coming out. Don't trade US 30 until after news. Yep, certainly if the lower time frames, it will be a smart decision to wait for the news to come out after and then make your decisions. But yeah, I'll go through my EuroCAD position. So EuroCAD, I went short on this one yesterday. Had a nice double top into the high there, nice wick after CPI, and then I got short after this bearish candle here, closed. Stop loss above the high there, and looking for a push into the relative swing low here with final targets at the low. So the analysis for EuroCAD basically was that we had the consolidation up here. Price failed to continue to range within the consolidation. We broke to the downside and we started seeing some consistent lower lows and lower highs. So the thesis, the plan was just simply to catch the next lower high with EuroCAD and ride the momentum to the downside, with targets being at this low here. And if we're lucky and price breaks through, then we've got a second low here to target there as well. This is where a lot of momentum came from, breaking through the highs down the left. So there's a good chance price will be gravitated towards that area if we can get a break of this. But this is my first target, so this is where I will take partials and go break even, because we could definitely do something like this and break back up again. So I do want to mitigate against that happening, take some profit, move my stop loss to break even, and then we'll see if price can get to the second TP. But yeah, the analysis is pretty simple. There's nothing too crazy about the trade here. We're just looking to kind of continue this structure, continue the trend. Like I said, I look for trends, so when I see one, I'm looking to get involved with it, as long as I can get the correct setup, that is. And I did with this one. Price came back into resistance, came into the trend line area, breaking me test of this low here as well. So that's basically the confluence for me to get involved in the trade. We retested it. This is the CPI from the news. I mean, not the CPI from the news. This was the wick from the CPI news. This is the wick from the CPI news, and then it gave me a nice entry confirmation after. So that's when I hopped into the trade for the sell. So very, very simple. All I'm looking to do is just continue structure, trade structure, with a trend, not if it's moving sideways, but if there's a trend, then I'm looking to trade it. I'm looking for price to pull back into areas of confluence, areas of resistance or support, and I'm looking for my entry confirmation, which are normally bullish or bearish engulfing candles. And then I just look to target swing lows and swing highs. So very, very simple stuff, but not quite at the target yet. We do have some Euro news coming out in about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 25 minutes. So we'll see what happens with the news there, but I will be holding through the news. Again, as a swing trader, it's hard for me to dodge the news. If I hold a trade on average every 2 days, then 2-3 days, it's difficult for me to not trade through the news. I do avoid entering just before the news, but if I'm in a trade, I'll sit through and see what happens. Okay, so I'll go take a look at the AJPY and gold quickly. What are my top 3 pairs? I don't really have top 3 pairs at the moment. I think CAD Yen, my top 3 pairs yesterday was CAD Yen, Euro CAD, and gold. I think CAD Yen still on the top 3 list, but I need to see a bigger pullback for this one. We've been pushing to the upside, pretty consistent with the higher lows here. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be looking for another one, retesting some structure. Didn't quite see it. We might not see it. But if CAD Yen can have a nice little pullback, then I'm interested in buying the pair. So I say CAD Yen is still a part of it. I'm still keeping an eye on Aussie dollar if this one can break to the downside. But again, I think that's more of an opportunity for next week. Same thing for pound yen. If this can break to the downside, get some nice retests on a retest of that structure, I do think that'll be a nice little lower high to take advantage of. Gold, I think the sales still look good with that one, but can I see a clear opportunity to trade it? I'm not too sure. We may push back into that, but I'm not a fan of how the market's been moving since then. So I'm not too particularly keen on gold at the moment either. And obviously pound AUD as well, but that one we need to see a big shift in momentum if we're going to buy it, because at the moment in time, it looks like we're breaking through. So yeah, I say the top of my watch list is still CAD Yen longs. I'm waiting to see what happens with pound yen if we break out, Euro yen if we break out, Swiss yen if we break out as well. So I'm keeping my eyes on that. Aussie dollar, I'm still keeping my eyes on the bigger breakout for that one as well. And yeah, still look to manage my Euro CAD position. But other than that, yeah, nothing looking too fantastic at the moment in terms of entries. Maybe apart from CAD yen. If I see a pullback from there, I will be looking for some entries. But yeah, I'm still waiting quite a few pairs to break out their consolidation. And when they do, I think we can get some really fantastic positions. But yeah, nothing at the moment. Okay, so AJPY, someone requested that one. So, okay, AJPY starting to look a little bit bullish. So yeah, AJPY, I do like the buys for this one. But like I said, I do want price to break out of the consolidation. Looks like we're pushing to the upside, starting to see some high lows creeping in. So 1, 2, 3, possibly if we get another 1, 4, that would look good for a long. So I do want to take advantage of some buys in Aussie yen, but at the moment I still need price to break through the resistance if I'm going to get into any long positions, because Right now, we should be moving sideways. Same thing for NZJPY, be moving sideways until we get something like this, breaking higher, then a higher low. Then sure, I'll be a big fan of the longs. So yeah, Aussie yen, I am getting ready for some buys. It's not confirmed yet. We still need to break through the resistance, but if we do see a nice higher high, then yeah, pullbacks and then some longs do look good going forward. And like I said with gold, I'm still expecting a drop into 1890, back down those lows. I'm not seeing a clear-cut opportunity to trade it. Maybe if you drop to the low time frames, you might find a lower high within the channel there, but it's just very corrective. I was looking to short here yesterday, but now it's kind of continuing this channel. I'm not such a big fan of looking for the sell there anymore, just because there's a lot of noise in the way. So gold, I may just put it to one side for the rest of the week, because again, even though I do have a bias for it, doesn't necessarily mean I have to go and look to trade it. It's certainly, if there's other better setups to trade, you know, my goal is not to take advantage of every single move or predict every move. I'm just looking for some good analysis, some good directional bias, and a good setup. And gold may have a good bias for, but I don't really have a good setup. And there's definitely other pairs which are giving me a better setup. So that's where my attention is drifting towards. But I will definitely keep an eye on gold, because things happen quickly. Definitely with the news coming out later today, you know, structure breaks, things change. You know, sometimes pairs that I have no intention of trading because the setup's poor. Sometimes we can have some big news, and you know, this time tomorrow I could be looking to take a trade because, you know, structure changes. So things do happen fast in the market and things change. But at the moment, I'm going to have to keep monitoring it and play it as it goes. But yeah, I'm bearish on gold. I'm looking at 1890, pushing to the level of support down here. But yeah, not seeing such a clear opportunity just yet. So we'll wait for that to develop a little bit further before I actually look for any positions. Okay, I'll wrap it up on pound USD. I will be live again later today, everyone. Oh, pound USD is dropping. Pound must be weak, because pound AUD was looking pretty weak. Yep, pound USD weak. Pound yen looking pretty weak. Is there news for pound, or is just pound just acting weird? Pound NZD pretty weak. Pound CHF weak. Euro pound's pushing up. Pound CAD very weak there as well. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with pound, but pound is just very weak at the moment. But yeah, let me go on pound USD. So yeah, pound USD still looking weak. Again, like I said, the market's kind of consolidating, so I'm not really looking to do anything in there. But if we had a deeper pullback, see the next lower high like we've been doing, so I'll be interested to short around here. But we may just break to the downside. If that's the case, that's the case. You might find a nice little retest of the low there for a trade. So until we break out the consolidation, I'm not really seeing much there. But yeah, I will be live again later today, ladies and gentlemen. I will be live with Trader Nick on his channel with anyone trading as well. So make sure you go check out, if you are free in the next kind of hour and a half, I'll be live again on his channel. So if you want to see more of my analysis, my outlook on how the news has played out as well, updates on my EuroCAD position, you know, you'll find all of that on that stream. So feel free to go and check that out if you want to. But guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream, chatting to me, subscribing, dropping likes, all the kind messages. Really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed the stream and you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure you go and do that right now. Drop a like, subscribe. Make sure you have hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Like I said, we'll be live later with Trade Nick, so make sure you go check that out. I'll post a link. I'll post a link to the stream in the Telegram. So again, make sure you go check out the Telegram, link in the description to that. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic day. Be safe. The news, like I say, we do have some euro and some dollar news. So for anyone trading euro dollar, well, euro dollar or euro pairs or dollar pairs, do stay aware of that. But guys, thank you so much for coming onto the stream. Really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next one.